The Joe Rogan Experience.
It's so fascinating to me when you think about people that explore the boundaries of what a human body's capable of. And Strongman is like one. There's like guys who do like David Goggins that do like the ultra marathons, but Strongman is like, that's another form of this extreme pushing of the boundaries of what a body is capable of.
And when you look at the progression of the sport, it just hasn't slowed down. Like, if anything, it's gotten even, like, the weights keep getting heavier every year. Everybody keeps getting faster. And, like, all of us are like, when the fuck is this going to stop? You know, like, we show up to a contest and they're like, all right, there was literally a contest in 2018 where the deadlift was 880 pounds for reps.
That's so much weight.
Like, what the fuck, dude? And there was a motherfucker that pulled it for 5.
That is so much weight.
It's crazy. And so it's like all of us are like, where does it stop? Like,
where does it stop?
You know, like the log press world record is 502 pounds overhead right now.
God damn it.
You know, it's just like these crazy outlandish numbers, but like the people, like, we keep doing them. So I guess we're doing it to ourselves to a point.
I guess so. But do you, like, what is pushing it? Is it just that is it a preconceived idea of what's possible, and now that the bar has been moved, and now you realize that, or is it just that people are more scientific about their training now?
I think that's what it is. I think it's and it's also like when the evolution of equipment over the years. You know, like with Rogue being our main equipment sponsor now, they make all strongman equipment. So like regular people have strongman equipment in their gyms. You know, like there are like PT clinics that have farmers' handles in them for people to work on core musculature and posture when they're walking. So I think just like the general availability of strongman equipment has made it easier for people to train it more regularly and get better at the events, because we have to practice. You know, like being strong is great, but you have to be able to manipulate the movement and manipulate the implement to work. And that's where just like the training and the practice portion of it comes in. So I think that's why we've seen, you know, a lot of these weights being pushed so much further, because everybody pretty much has regular access to these strongman implements now.
It's interesting to me that you're saying that the weights are getting heavier and people are getting faster. It's like, and then I'm thinking, like, how long have people been doing this? When was the first strongman competition?
I mean, strongman dates back to like the 1700s.
Really? Like that kind of shit, like barrel throws and really?
I mean, when Rob was on, you know, he was talking about the show Strongest Man in History. That was just on History Channel, and they went back into the history books to look at old, you know, quote unquote strongmen doing these feats of strength all throughout. You know, I think one of the most notable names is Louis Cyr, a guy from Canada who was about my size actually, and is revered to be one of the strongest men in history. And so, and he was doing like these dumbbell lifts and these back lifts and these hip and thigh lifts and stuff like that. So strongman's been around for a long time, but World's Strongest Man didn't become a thing until the 70s. That's when World's Strongest Man, I think 77 was the first year of World's Strongest Man. And that's when it kind of became a sport, you know, and not just a kind of a hobby, I guess.
So how do they determine what stuff you're going to do for the World's Strongest Man? Did they have a panel of experts that sit down and devise each individual event?
Yeah, I mean, it's come a long way from what it was in the 70s. I mean, they used to do like medleys with like potato sack races back at World's Strongest Man a long time ago. Now it's a little more standardized, where they do have like a committee where it's, you know, people from the strongman circuit and judges and stuff like that, but they also bring TV execs because they want stuff that's going to look cool. You know, and I think that's a great thing, because you don't want to, like, stuff that is cool to me isn't going to look cool to somebody that doesn't know anything about the sport sometimes. Right. So when they choose the events, like pulling 2 monster trucks, like, okay, one, you have to be strong as fuck to be able to do it, but it also looks really cool on TV. So they try to find that marriage of both of those things to make it the most pleasing to the average person.
Difficult, but also impressive.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, like the deadlift event, they don't have us. Yeah. So, that's Mark Felix. Yeah. So this is one of the world records that he did.
And how old is he when he's doing this?
This is 53.
Jesus Christ.
So this was actually just this past July. This was at Wembley Stadium.
Oh my God. God.
or well, the arena in London.
The
And,
Hercules hold. What a great name.
so each of those pillars weighs 400 pounds.
And he's just chilling.
And you just have to hold it as long as you can.
Look at the size of his fucking shoulders.
Yeah.
That is preposterous.
It's dumb.
That dude has preposterous muscles. That's so crazy. How long does he hold this fucker for?
He goes over 1 minute.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I mean, it's crazy.
Now,
So, and this is a world
what kind
record
of
at this
breathing,
point.
What kind of, after this is what, 122, he drops it.
Yeah.
What kind of breathing are you doing here? Like, does it help to breathe in deep and heavy, or is
So
it just...
during an event like this,
He
it's,
looks 30. That is crazy.
that's exactly.
Dude, black don't crack. They're not lying. That guy looks amazing.
So with an event like that, it's more just like trying to relax and getting into like a calm mental state because you don't want to be super revved up because you're not moving.
Right.
You're just focusing on your grip. And that's the biggest thing for an event like that. But then there's also events where like, okay, when you're maxing your deadlift, you do have to hold your breath.
Right.
So it's different for everything you do.
Look
yeah,
at when he
there's
goes
the
to
hands.
shake his hand. His hands are enormous.
It goes up to his wrist.
That's incredible. That's amazing though that he could hold those fucking things for that long. It was like a minute,
And
20 something.
minute and 23 seconds. And for reference, like I was at that contest and did it for like 42 seconds.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Now, how do you prepare for something like that? Do you don't hold those things? Like, do you just work on your grip and
No,
just...
usually honestly set up like a pulley system in the gym.
Oh.
So use just like regular handles that you use on like a cable machine.
Mm-hmm.
Set up a pulley on like a squat rack or like one of the Rogue rigs. Have loading pins coming down, stack weights on that, and then
just
hold
hang.
it. Yeah.
Fuck.
Or even just doing something as simple like pull-up holds, like dead hangs from a barbell.
Yeah.
Or from a pull-up bar.
How long can you dead hang for?
I've done over a minute.
That's impressive
It's
for
okay.
a guy that's that heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, usually would go. My shoulders usually get tired before anything else.
Really? Before your
from
hands?
Like, yeah, just from like holding it and so.